I say, is the castle far?
How much does the setting influence the story? The short answer is immensely, because it allows the writer to choose locations that most challenge and imperil the protagonist, especially when the setting places the characters into a kind of cage from which there is no escape. My advice to new writers, therefore, is to research the setting and time period in which the story occurs as much as possible, in order to render it credible and squeeze out as much drama from it as possible. This is not an easy ask. Stories often play out in time periods and environments that writers are unfamiliar with. After all, how many of us have experienced the weightlessness of space or have traveled close to the speed of light? This is where research and imagination come in. Hello, and welcome to Get Writing, the home of aspiring writers. I'm Dr. Stavros Halvatsis, writer, lecturer, and story consultant. Without knowledge of the physics of acceleration, zero gravity, and time dilation, films such as 2001: A Space Odyssey, Interstellar, and countless of others would not have been as convincing. Indeed, Stanley Kubrick's A Space Odyssey, inspired by Arthur C. Clarke's The Sentinel and other of his short stories, taps into the dangers that space presents to the crew of the spacecraft Discovery 1. The research that went into understanding the physics allowed Kubrick to portray settings that placed humans at a disadvantage while favoring the antagonist, and to do it in a way that was utterly convincing to the audience.
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information.
The film relates the mission to Jupiter, overseen by a paranoid supercomputer, the HAL 9000, tasked with investigating an alien object in the vicinity of the gas giant. The story would not have been as gripping if it were to have taken place on Earth. The danger to the crew from the increasingly psychotic computer which controls the life functions of the crew in the spacecraft adds to the suspense, precisely because it takes place in such an inhospitable environment. The setting frames the drama. Bram Stoker's Dracula 2 would not be as sinister or frightening without the cavernous castle in the isolated Carpathian Mountains which houses Dracula and his bevy of vampires. Placing the hero in a less caged-in setting from which he could more easily escape would render his decision to stay less credible. The setting holds the hero prisoner long enough for him to succumb to the vampiric temptations in the castle.
Lay back, Jonathan.
It should be noted that in both examples, there is no easy way out of the threatening environment. The characters are trapped in a cage. This counteracts the accusation leveled against so many low-budget horror and slasher movies of, "Why don't you just get out of the house?" So to sum it all up, locate your characters in settings that place them at a disadvantage while favoring your antagonist. Force them into caged-in situations with no easy way out. This will explain why they don't escape and will increase the stakes and add suspense to the story. Render every detail of the setting credible by conducting exhaustive research through books, documentaries, films, and if at all possible, by interviewing people familiar with the environment. Luckily, there has never been a better time to do this, thanks to the internet. Well, that's it for now. If you've gained value from this video, hit that like and subscribe buttons and drop me a comment to help the channel grow. See you soon.